watch this?
How?
Ew,
How do you watch this? Dude, I'm gonna pee my pants. You're listening to How Do You Watch This, a movie review podcast where each week we recommend a movie in the genre we love, but they don't. My name is Megan, and I love romance.
My name is Demi, and I love horror.
And this week, I had Demi watch the 90s classic Cinderella remake, Ever After. And I think that it's pretty obvious what the common thread is. It's a retelling of a Grimm's fairy tale.
Yeah, I would have accepted just fairy tale, but
Okay.
fairy
Well,
tale.
I was like, you know what? I wanted to be specific because I didn't know if you would be like, nope, wrong.
Grimm's fairy tale sounds cooler, so
It does, yes.
we'll go with that. And it's correct, yes. It is
Thank
a
you, yes.
retelling, so good job on
Thank you.
nailing
Thank
that.
you. Thank you.
This is my second Cinderella retelling review on this
Yes, it
podcast,
is.
and I hope to have many more.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you will because honestly, it is. First of all, I know it's your favorite trope, and second of all, it's just so good. I just eat it
good.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just you can't go wrong with it.
Yes.
You know,
and even when you go wrong, you go right.
there's
you
still
know.
good things. I was gonna
Yeah.
say Cinderella story, but
Yeah. I
There
mean,
are some
it
good
didn't
things
get a
about
0
it.
star. I don't think anything will be as bad as that one we watched with the. Oh gosh, we
Oh.
watched the one with the DJ, right?
Yes.
Everything. Okay. Yes.
was it? What was it?
It was a
called?
Spanish one, right? With subtitles or dub.
It was foreign. I think it
Yeah,
was foreign.
it was definitely foreign. It was another one with a Cinderella in sneakers. She was at like a foster home and fell in love with like her foster brother, right? Like,
I don't remember that detail.
okay, I might be conflating it with a different movie, but I'm pretty sure.
It was bad. There was
Yeah.
nothing good about that one. But there was
No.
also no like reveal or anything. It was just
Yeah.
she was a DJ and
Yeah, horrible.
it was really bad. So
Ugh, it's probably called like DJ Cinderella. I wouldn't be surprised if it was something like that.
But yeah, you can't have a good Cinderella retelling unless there is a reveal. So, Ever After.
Yes.
Some details. So it is a 1998 film. It is PG, unfortunately. 2 hours. Is there any Cinderella retelling that's not PG?
Ooh, I will do some research for you.
Thank
I'm gonna
you.
make a note on my phone right now.
Yeah. Let me know. It is 2 hours and 1 minute long. They couldn't remove that 1 minute. It is a period drama, comedy, romance. Director is Andy Tennant. And those are the main details. And Andy Tennant is also the director of... See, I knew all this stuff a few days ago. And now
Yeah, back when we were supposed to record and before it got postponed 400 times because of life just didn't want us to record this week. It's not been.
Truly. Okay, he did like Hitch and Fool's Gold. And all
Oh,
kinds
cool.
of stuff.
Those are
So,
fun. Very
yeah.
fun.
It Takes Two.
Ooh,
And Sweet Home
don't-
Alabama. That was the one I was thinking.
Oh, okay. I do want to give you Hitch at some point, but I know you've seen it, so
Yeah, it's been a long while though, so
Yeah.
I'd consider it a
a
watch.
first time watch.
Yeah, I'd consider it.
I loved it. I was addicted to Hitch. Anyway,
I
go
did
ahead.
really like Hitch as well. All right, so I'll go into my breakdown. So much happens in this freaking movie.
So much happens, and I had like an unreal amount of fun facts that I've cut down several. So I'm gonna give you just the best of the best. But if anyone wants to look up fun facts for this movie, you will find a lot.
I'm
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
Okay, so the movie starts with the Brothers Grimm who
Mhm.
arrive and are an audience to the Grand Dame, who expresses her disappointment in their version of the story Cinderella, which in
Mhm.
their version, I'm pretty sure the sisters partially cut their feet to try and fit into slippers.
Correct.
Yeah,
Just
that's
super icky. And
So I would be upset too.
yeah, no, it is not cool. There's also and I don't remember if they mentioned this in the movie, but hints about like fur slippers were made, and that's because in one of the translations of the Brother Grimm, they mistranslated glass slippers to fur slippers. So
Oh.
yeah, so that's something that I think she might mention. But yeah, it's
Okay.
the Brothers Grimm story is grim.
The Cinderella one's pretty brutal because I
Yeah.
think the sisters get their eyes plucked out at the end.
By birds, yes.
Yeah.
That I have a fun fact about that. So
Okay, all right. So the Grand Dame reveals a glass slipper and recounts the true story of Cinderella. And so this is where the true movie begins. So we travel back to the French Renaissance, where we meet 8-year-old Danielle. She's being raised by her father, Auguste de... The French haunt me.
Hold on. Let me look up his name real quick and I'll...
Barbarac.
Oh, Barbarac. Yeah. Yeah, you did a great job, Demi.
Thank you.
You don't need me. Are you kidding me?
I still need you. So they're very close, and her mother died either when she was very young or when she was born. It's not fully.
Yeah, we don't really care about the mom, I guess.
She R.I.P. I guess.
Yeah.
So, August. I guess it's August, right?
Yes, I guess.
August.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. Let's go with it.
He's not in the movie long, so
Yeah.
he comes home with the Baroness Radmila de Ghent,
Yes.
who's played by Angelica Huston.
Yeah, I was like looking at, and it took me a second. I was like, why does she give off villain so much? And then I was like, oh my God, she's from Addams Family. Duh.
Yes, and Witches, which I remember her
Oh, yes.
very clearly from because she traumatized me.
Yes. Also, not to say that she was a villain in Addams Family, but she has a very witchy look to her.
Aura.
Yes.
Yeah, she has that aura of baddie.
Yes, exactly. Where you're like, she's about to ruin shit.
Yes, exactly. So she arrives with her 2 daughters, Marguerite and Jacqueline, who will be Danielle's new stepfamily. So literally the next day, the dad...
Unbelievable. Horrible choice.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
I'd be pissed if I was the wife.
Yes.
Like, why don't you just drop me off at your home and just goodbye?
And say goodbye. And also, like, not even give the daughter time to transition into this new dynamic or whatever.
No. So he leaves and then he dies.
Right.
On the way out.
By the way, this scene is ingrained in my mind. This is like a core memory from me. It was very scarring, I guess, because just I was watching. I knew exactly what was going to happen, even though I haven't seen this movie in like 10 plus years.
Yeah.
I knew exactly what was going to happen. Like that was horrible.
I mean, it's very sad. He's like riding off. Everyone's saying goodbye to him, and then he gets, I guess, some sort of heart attack or something.
Seems like it.
He falls off his horse, and he's like dying. Danielle and Rodmilla. Sorry,
Rodmilla, I think. Yeah.
They run up to him and he dies, and it's just like crazy that he just died. So
yes.
Dropping her off.
Yeah. I'm curious because they never answer this in the whole movie. Do you think that she actually was sad that her husband died, or do you think she was sad to be left alone in this new place that was impoverished?
I think she did love him.
Yeah,
I
agree.
That she did love him, especially after a conversation later in the movie. I think she's just very
cold.
Yes.
Yeah, she never could open her heart to Danielle, which was a shame because it was all she had left of her dead husband.
Yeah, and I think part of it too is that so before he died, he tells Danielle he loves her.
Yeah,
and I think that, I mean, of course, that's his daughter. So
right,
that's his daughter.
That's who he should say I love you to.
Yeah, so I think the Baroness feels a little like jealous,
resentment,
and resentment that she did love this man, and his last moment was with his daughter.
Yeah, it was with
basically.
the daughter who he was with for the past 8 years, and not the woman who he married 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
but whatever,
which makes sense. But the Baroness, I do like her a lot in this movie. I think she's very complex. And she is kind of a bitch. She's not great, but she also has, there's more to her than just a traditional evil stepmother character of Cinderella.
Very complex character, for sure.
Yeah. So I like that a lot. So we skip 10 years, and Danielle, now played by Drew Barrymore, has been forced to become a servant to the stepmother and stepsisters. Marguerite is played by Megan Dodds, who she has a very familiar face.
She is like, what do they call them? Side character in so many movies where it's just you see her face, you're like, I know her, but I don't know her as a leading lady.
Exactly. And then Jacqueline is played by Melanie Linsky, who people would know her from Yellow Jackets, and she was in The Last of Us. She was the one lady who was in charge of the one camp area.
Yes.
So she's more familiar.
Yeah, absolutely.
So one morning, Danielle has an unexpected confrontation with Prince Henry, who's played by Dougray Scott. And I was like, I know his face, but apparently I don't. I was like looking up the movies and I'm like, I don't recognize, I haven't seen anything he's in. But
I don't recognize his face either. He apparently had a lot of almost, like he was almost in some big movies and then he wasn't. Yeah. So
he kind of reminds me of a lower budget Antonio Banderas. Like,
okay, yeah.
Antonio Banderas was top tier and this guy was close. You know, he's like, he could almost get there and he's handsome, but there's something about him where I'm like, it's just, there's something missing.
He also, so he is attractive, but he looks older than he actually is.
He does, yeah. But he was 30.
He was like 29, I think, 28, 29.
30 in this movie. Yeah. And he looked it.
Yes. Yeah. And she was like 19 and she also looked it. So there was just an age gap there that wasn't, of course, if we're talking about back in the olden days, there's age gaps between these people, but
it's
I would rather them be a little closer.
Like for me, this role would be perfect for, obviously, if this was remade now, Ben Barnes is the person I picture.
Ben Barnes.
He looks, I guess the one thing I couldn't think of right now is in
Prince
Stardust.
Caspian?
Yeah.
Oh, Stardust?
Yeah, he was the father at the beginning.
Well, what?
The dad
old man?
At the beginning. No.
Oh.
When he was young. You go like have sex at the chick in the carriage and then he's gone.
Okay. Sorry, I was like, what? That's who you wanted to play this? Okay. Yeah.
But that's like who I picked. I was like, he would he would have been such a good look next to Drew Barrymore.
But yeah.
Obviously that could never happen.
Now, it'll never happen. The timelines won't align.
The timelines don't align. But that look is what I think would have worked well. Where it's like more pretty boy, younger baby face type of look.
Yeah.
But it's all good. So Prince Harry, he's attempting to flee in order to avoid an arranged marriage to Princess Gabriella of Spain. And so he's took one of her father's horses and he's riding through the field.
Yeah.
She thinks he's a thief. He is.
Because he is.
And so she starts throwing apples at him and actually knocks him hard as shit off his horse.
Yeah.
She's beating him up and then she realizes it's the prince and she immediately drops to her knees. She's apologizing. She's like, kill me.
Yeah, honestly though, because how terrifying.
Yeah, definitely. Especially in like her position.
Right. So, you're a peasant. I mean, really.
Yeah. So Henry is a nice guy and he's like, here's some money. Just don't tell anyone that you saw me. Don't tell anyone about this.
Yes.
So continues on his way. He's eventually caught by the royal guard after stopping bandits from robbing a strange old man in the woods who ends up being Leonardo da Vinci. I was like, what?
You didn't remember that?
No, I did
not.
Oh
my God, so great, dude. So great.
I don't know how I did not remember that.
Yeah, it's just the most like goofy little add-on really ever.
He's like he's literally the fairy godmother.
Yes, he is. He is the fairy godmother. Like, yes.
It's so goofy. It's great.
I love it.
So the king basically invited him to the French court as a guest. So that's why he's hanging out there. So Prince Henry's caught. Back to Danielle. She has this money and she decides to use it to try and buy back a family servant named Maurice, who was recently sold by Rodmilla, the stepmother. So she disguises herself as a noble woman. And she goes to the court and she finds the jailer. She finds Maurice. She's arguing with him. And Prince Henry sees her. And he's impressed by her passion and orders the jailer to release Maurice.
Yes.
So Henry doesn't really recognize Danielle. He's kind of like, do I know you?
Right.
But, you know,
but
he didn't really get a good look at her face when she was throwing apples at him anyway. So
also, he's like a prince who probably isn't used to paying attention to the lower class. Like, let's be honest.
Probably. And she was like all dirty, but she also was like,
bowing her head and all that. Yeah.
So I'll let it pass.
Fine.
Even though Drew Barrymore has a very specific face. It's
yes.
fine.
Yeah.
So Danielle's trying to avoid telling him who she is.
Mhm.
Obviously, she's vaguely saying that she's visiting a cousin. He's like, who's your cousin? I might know them. And so she ends up giving him her mother's name, which is Countess Nicole de la Crente.
Mm-hmm.
So later on, the king strikes a deal with Henry later that night. He's going to hold a masquerade ball at which Henry will announce his engagement to the woman of his choosing at midnight, or else he will have to marry the Princess Gabriella. So, hearing this news, Rodmilla, the stepmother, accelerates her efforts to getting Henry to notice Marguerite, especially after the prince made a visit to the house earlier to drop off the horse he stole.
Which, by the way, this bothered me so much. He literally told Danielle, don't tell anyone about what happened. And then he told Rodmilla about what happened. And then Rodmilla was like, Danielle, WTF. Dude, you broke your own rule.
Yeah, because he brought up how there was a servant that he ran into. Yeah. And so Rodmilla's pissed off because she's like, how dare you didn't say anything about this. Right. So, strike one for Prince Harry. I have thoughts about Prince Harry.
Yeah. You keep saying Prince Harry. Henry. Like, stop wishful thinking, girl. It is not Prince Harry.
Freudian slip. I'm so sorry. I wish. Oh, God.
What a different movie it would be.
What for sure. So, Henry. Okay. So, so the stepmother's like, I want Marguerite to marry him because the prince complimented Marguerite's little brooch, and Marguerite is being all flirty and pretty. And so stepmother, of course, is like, this is it. I can get him with this. Yeah. So the stepmother's also being super neglectful. Oh my God. It's 8, okay? I'm sorry.
I know. I'm so sorry.
She's super neglectful to Jacqueline. It was the only decent one there.
Yes,
so she's not mean to Danielle. She's very submissive, though. She does everything her stepmother her mother tells her to do. So she's not going to really stand up for Danielle.
She could have stood up for Danielle, but she doesn't have a very strong backbone. So
so the stepmother's really mean to her for no fucking reason.
No.
There's a lot of fat jokes, and it's like, she's not even fat.
Like, ridiculous.
Awful. So she's just being ignored. But anyway, Danielle begins secretly spending time with Henry.
Ooh.
They run into each other again at the lake where Leonardo da Vinci is testing some water walking shoes.
Yes, dude, they were so goofy.
In the lake.
Yeah.
He's just such a cartoon character in this movie.
He really is.
So they meet again, they talk, and later on they end up going to the library of the Franciscan monks. And they talk more there. They're having some bonding moments. Prince Henry's really vibing her. And then after their little library date, their carriage breaks down. They end up walking back to her house when a gang of Romani ambushes them. They don't call them that in the movie. But...
No, don't worry. I literally, every time they said the term that we're not allowed to use, I was like, no. Sorry, no.
So they get ambushed. Henry's fighting them off a bit. You know, he's showing off, but he's not doing super great. Danielle ends up just jumping on him and going all crazy in her underwear. So she went to climb up a tree, took her dress off. She's in her underwear fighting these Romani men.
And it is the most unsexy underwear that could ever be worn.
I mean, it's just
it's a jumpsuit, essentially, like a white jumpsuit, a baggy white jumpsuit. So it's funny in that she's trying to protect her modesty, but at the same time, girl, you do not look good. This is not your best look. Like, put the dress back on, please.
Like granny panties.
Yes,
you couldn't wear something sexy.
No,
on your date. What would have been sexy at that time?
It must have been like, I mean, definitely that would have been it. I would think like a full coverage robe, but maybe there's a little lace at the cuffs, you know?
Okay, yeah.
Is what I think they would have found sexy.
We'll have to look up the lingerie.
Lingerie of the 1800s, or no, 1500s. Yeah.
15.
That's going to be a deep dive, okay?
For sure. So anyway, this is all going on, and I love this bit. I thought it was so funny. She asked the leader if he would let her leave with anything she could carry. And he agrees, and so she ends up picking up Perry on her back and walks away, and then the Romani are just laughing at her, and they all end up being cool, and they get invited to their little shindig at night, I guess.
Yes.
They're just hanging out all together.
Yes, it's amazing. I want to talk about this because I have 2 fun facts for this one. The first one is really little, and it's unconfirmed because the actual article was hidden behind a paywall that I refused to knock down. I was like,
articles now are just behind paywalls. And
it's ridiculous. Like, I'm not paying $1 to read this. This should just be open knowledge.
An article on Ever After.
Right. An article on Drew Barrymore's stance on Ever After and this scene in which she carries the prince. So dumb. So we're just going to trust IMDb here on this statement. Apparently, Barrymore needed to have the prince wired up in order to carry him off because he was too heavy. And honestly, I definitely couldn't do it. Like, I could not carry Travis on my back unless maybe it was that thing, you know, where they talk about that
the adrenaline rush.
The adrenaline rush where the mother like lifts a car so her kid can get underneath. Yeah. Unless I had an adrenaline rush, I can't find any way. I would definitely break my back.
Yeah, no, there's no way at all.
No, but the better fun fact is that there is a real life legend that this is based on.
No way.
Yes way. So it's called The Wives of Weinsberg or Weinsberg. So in the year 1140, in the modern state of, bear with me, Baden-Württemberg, Germany, a siege was waged between 2 dynasties, and the leader of the oppositional party, Conrad III, decided to destroy the town and imprison its defenders. A surrender was negotiated, with the women of the city being granted the right to leave with whatever they could carry. So I'm going to quote directly from the Latin Chronicle, a translated version of the Latin Chronicle, Chronica Regia Coloniensis, which I probably mispronounced, which was compiled in the 1170s. The king besieged the city of the Duke of Bavaria, ... Sorry, there's like excess. Having granted with royal magnanimity permission to the wives and other women found there that they might take with them whatever they could carry on their shoulders. Taking thought of both their loyalty for their husbands and the safety of the others, they disregarded their household goods and came down carrying the men on their shoulders. When Duke Friedrich said that such things should not happen, the king, showing favor to the women's cunning, said that it would not be fitting to change his royal word. So it's so great. So I love that story, regardless if it's actual fact or if it's one of those like embellishments of time. How amazing is that? And honestly, like, yes, girl power all the way. Women know how to fight.
Hell yeah. That's amazing. That's awesome. And I hope those men treated those women right.
They better. Could you imagine this one woman who's like, nah,
I ain't taking Steve with me. Fuck Steve. Or they were seeing like 2 men and it's like,
and it's like, which one are you going to take? They put one on each shoulder.
Try and pull them out. Whoever's lighter, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I would be trapped, I think, in that town forever. Because
there's no way I'd be able to carry. So yeah, we'd be stuck. But I mean, we can carry each other out. I guess.
Yeah, there we go. You know what?
Carry all our pets.
Yeah. Oh, see, that's the thing. If it's between the pets and the man, you shouldn't have defended the city, bud. Sorry.
You're a dumb bitch. I don't know what to do. Not my problem. Anyway, so that's awesome. I love that. But yeah, I love that scene. I thought it was tied with my most memorable.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, honestly, you can't not pick the scene that you picked, that I'm sure you picked. If you didn't pick the scene that you picked, then we're in trouble, but whatever.
So they're at the Romani camp hanging out. And so before that, they end up kissing for the first time, and it's like a spicy kiss. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, love it.
No chaperone.
No chaperones.
No chaperone. And so they kiss, things are igniting. And we have to remember that Danielle is still pretending to be the countess named Nicole. Henry thinks her name is Nicole, not Danielle.
Yeah.
So
kind of a bummer if that's the name being whispered to you after you just had a really great kiss. But whatever.
It's like
your mother's name. Oh, God.
Awful thing. Your dead mother's name.
Yes, it's triggering on so many.
Henry's dreaming of.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Anyway, while this is all happening, Marguerite is trying to get close to Henry and manages to catch the eye of his mother, the queen. Everything's exciting for Rodmilla and Marguerite because they think things are going their way. They plan on using Danielle's mother's wedding gown.
Dude,
and
the rage,
slippers.
the real life rage I felt in this moment where I knew this was going to happen, but I felt
Oh my God.
pure anger. I was
Girl.
ready to throw a shoe at the TV. I was so
Yes.
mad.
This is Danielle's dowry. It's the dress.
Yes.
And they're like, this would be a great dress to wear for the masquerade ball. And it's like, are you fucked?
Unbelievable.
So Marguerite insults Danielle's mother because Danielle's like, what are you doing? It's like everything just hypes up. And then Danielle punches Marguerite in the face. Good.
Love
Deserves
that.
it. And starts chasing her around the house.
Yeah.
Marguerite retaliates by destroying the one copy of Utopia, which is a book, the last book that Danielle got from her father before he passed away, which is so awful.
It's disgusting.
Ugh, Marguerite is like the worst.
She has like no redeeming qualities.
No. Like, at least Rodmilla, I'm like, maybe. Marguerite, no. She is literally the devil.
Correct.
So, Rodmilla ends up whipping Danielle for punching Marguerite in the face.
God.
Jacqueline is sitting with her and, you know, tending to her wounds and criticizing Marguerite for her cruelty. So, they have a, you know, moment together. Jacqueline thinks that Marguerite deserved that punch to the face. So, then the queen ends up holding a luncheon with Marguerite and Rodmilla and expresses curiosity about the mystery girl who has taken Henry's fancies. And Rodmilla recognizes the name, the Countess Nicole, and deduces in her head that that girl is definitely Danielle. And so she ends up telling the queen that, oh, she's engaged and she's actually leaving in like 2 days, or she's leaving the next day or something like that. So...
By the way, Marguerite has a hissy fit in front of the queen that would be humiliating to observe.
That, as the queen, I would be like, okay.
Right. Stay away from my son forever.
What?
Like, you're not an option. Yeah, that was a lot.
But Marguerite's a brat, so.
Yeah.
She doesn't deserve anything.
No.
So then, Danielle and Henry meet again in secret. And Danielle wants to tell Henry the truth, but can't bring herself to tell him the truth. Because he's just so excited. He's like, I'm going to open a university for everyone. I'm so inspired by you. And it's like, oh, wow, you become such a good person, Henry. Wow.
Wow. But also, I hate this. It's like, just say it. Come on.
Yes. So Danielle ends up not telling him and runs off. The queen later tells Henry about Danielle or Nicole, saying that she's engaged and she's supposed to leave. So then Henry's feeling upset because he's thinking that's what Danielle was going to tell him, that she was engaged and leaving.
Yeah.
He feels betrayed and he's very upset because he was going to announce his engagement to her at the ball that night.
Right.
Everything's going to shit for him. His whole life's ruined.
Right.
Poor Henry.
Poor little prince. Yeah. But then also, doesn't his dad at the masquerade say, like, you don't have to get married, it's fine? Like,
yeah. So Henry's being a little...
Yeah. He's like, I'll just never find love again.
He's like, okay, let's relax.
Yeah. Okay. You've known her for 3 days. It is not that deep.
But, you know, men, dramatic, emotional.
Yeah.
So then, Rodmilla confronts Danielle about the whereabouts of the dress and the slippers. They've gone missing, unaware that the servants actually hid it from them to prevent Marguerite from wearing it.
Hell yeah.
And in addition to that, other things in the house have gone missing too. They mention it throughout the movie, like, oh, the candlesticks are gone, this and this. So,
and then freaking Rodmilla this whole time is like, oh, the servants are stealing it and I'm going to dock their pay. And so essentially the servants are working for free at this point because all this stuff is going missing. And they're like, we have no idea where it's going.
Yeah. So they did hide the dress and slippers. So it's a mystery what's hiding everything else. But up until this point, you're like, something's going on.
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
mice? What is Danielle basically tells Radmilla and Marguerite to fuck off. She's like, I don't know what a dress is. Fuck you. I hate you. And Radmilla locks her in the pantry. Maurice, the servant from early in the movie that Danielle rescued, tells Gustave, who's a character I did not bring up until now, but that's Danielle's best.
It's too much extra stuff. Yeah.
He's her best friend from childhood.
Yeah.
And he's also like an artiste or wants to be.
Yeah.
Pretty much, Maurice tells him to go find Leonardo da Vinci at the party and request help since Leonardo has been, gotten closer to Danielle and he might be able to help figure it out because he's an inventor or whatever. I'm like, okay.
Right. I mean, that would be my go-to. My go-to would have been to take an axe and cut down the door. But, I mean...
What happens is Leonardo comes through the house and he ends up just unhooking,
the hinges.
Unlatching the hinges.
Yeah, that's all.
The door.
Right.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it was super straightforward, but, whatever.
But he is the godmother, so he needed to be there for Danielle.
So, in this next part, like most 90s romance movies, that our leading lady needed a glow-up moment. So, we're about to experience this, of course.
Yeah.
So, originally, her makeup for the next scene was going to be done by Leonardo. And
there's going to be like a montage of him.
I guess that the idea was to have a montage of him actively doing, bippity boppity booing her into who she was going to be. And according to Barrymore, this made her in real life makeup artist sick for months with the idea that her work would have to live up to this world renowned artist. Luckily for her, they changed their minds, of course, but that would have been unbelievable.
I don't know if I would have loved that or hated it.
I think I would have hated it. I think they made
it.
Yeah, I think they made the right choice. No. They could not have. I don't think you could have done that well without it going over the top in goofiness.
Yeah. Yes. And the movie's pretty, it is very much based in realism as much as possible. There are some goofy bits, but it's more or less realistic.
Yes.
So I think this would have definitely been
pushed it over the edge.
Yeah,
like, what?
Goofy.
He's an oil painter. He's not a makeup artist. Come on. What are you doing?
That is so funny. So they bring the dress out. They dress up Danielle. They send her away. She makes it to the ball just in time before Henry has to announce who he's going to marry. And so she's wearing this beautiful silver bejeweled, it's gorgeous.
So stunning.
French Renaissance gown with wings.
Oh,
and
God.
Glitter on her face.
Oh, I loved it. And I feel like we didn't get to look at her in that dress for long enough.
No.
It really, that scene was so fast.
Yes.
And I just wanted to enjoy and bask in the glow.
Yeah. They should have had her go down the steps.
Yes. And have it pan out, pan up close and then zoom slowly away from her as she walks down the aisle. Would have been great.
I know. Because then Henry immediately runs up to her and I'm like, get out of here. Get out of here.
This isn't about you.
This is for you. God, it's for the girls and gays.
It is though.
Oh yeah, that was my most memorable scene, obviously.
Yeah.
But this is also my most deleted scene controversy. We'll get to why.
This is interesting. This is a first, most memorable and most deleted at the same time.
And it hurt me. It hurt me.
Yeah. And this is why I hate the miscommunication trope above all tropes.
Yep. Okay. So Henry's all excited. He's like, we're going to get married. Daniel's like, wait, I have to tell you something. He doesn't listen because men don't listen.
No.
He's pulling her through. And then Rodmilla shows up and she's like, she's a servant. Her name is Danielle. She's been lying to you. And then Henry's like, what? I'm a prince. I can't marry you. Little bitch. A little bitch.
Right.
And just leaves her there.
Oh. To be honest, dude, I was like, I don't know if I could ever forgive him. And then I remembered he was a prince and he has, a lot of money. But
we'll get to.
I know.
We'll get to that.
But I was like, that is the ultimate betrayal.
I so disliked this. And I know we needed a scene of her running out using the glass slipper. I know we needed that. but I just like hate how it went about it. I'm like, why? Like, no, we need this prince to be obsessed with her.
Right.
Forever, all the time. And like, he was just like,
know.
what? I can't marry you. Like, what do you mean? She's trying to tell you. She's trying to talk to you. You don't listen to her.
Yep.
This is your fault. This is all your fault.
Yep. Agreed.
So that was I wish I didn't like that. I didn't like how Henry was acting.
The first part of the scene we could have had, and then the second half of the scene should not.
I forgot she didn't run off without her slipper yet, and I thought the movie was gonna end here. I'm like, this is great. I'm in a vibe. And I was like, oh wait, I forgot about the most important part.
Yeah, he has to find her again, you know.
Yeah, but I was like, what do you mean you're? What, you're gonna leave her crying? I just want to give her a hug. She's so, it's so embarrassing.
Yes.
Oh, Henry.
Yes. I can't imagine being her. It's so vulnerable, and then to be ditched like that by a man.
Not even that hot. God.
No, he's not even that hot. That's the thing. It's like it's like if Henry Cavill did it, it'd be like
I'd be like, okay, I get it.
Fine, yes, you're out of my league, all right. But this man is marrying up here, okay?
He is. Danielle's a freaking steal.
Yes.
So she runs away, obviously. She loses her slipper. You know the story. So then, Henry is talked to by Leonardo because Leonardo da Vinci's pissed. He's like, how dare you?
Yes.
She's the love of your life, all this stuff. You need to go find her. He gives Henry the slipper. So then Henry, I guess, wakes the fuck up and goes to find Danielle. He goes back to the house. Jacqueline's there. She tells Henry that Rodmilla sold Danielle to Pierre Lapew, a super creepy man. And he appeared like earlier in the movie. Yeah. He obviously likes Danielle. And he's just,
like in a gross way.
Yeah. He's just like I don't know, kind of a pirate. He looks like a pirate.
Yeah.
So we find out that all this stuff was actually being sold to him by Rodmilla. And all this stuff was like Danielle's father's stuff.
Yeah.
She ends up getting it all back, I guess, for Danielle because she wants the prince to see that they have money and stuff.
Yeah, she's trying to impress them, so she like buys it back or whatever. But that's essentially, she was blaming the servants for stealing like massive things like furniture and stuff. And
a ton of shit.
It was just her all along.
Yeah, so this is like Rodmilla was going super downhill for me. Yeah, by this point. Okay, trash.
Yeah, she's not doing good.
No. So Henry rides off to find her. And to rescue her, but she ends up rescuing herself. She frees herself after threatening to kill Pierre after he was being a really, like a big
pervy.
pervert.
He was really trying to grope on her.
Yeah, and she was like, I'll stab you. And so she ends up getting out. Henry's apologizing to her. And he finally calls her Danielle. And she's like, say that again. And I'm like, girl, don't forgive him that quickly.
Oh, no. It was too fast. It was too fast. He needed to get he needed to get his breeches dirty, like roll around in the mud. You know what I mean? Like,
there's never enough groveling.
There never is.
To the groveling, sniveling man.
Yeah, that's what we came here for.
What we're here for, and that's what Danielle deserved. This man,
it is
on his knees, crying, sobbing.
In fact, yes, correct.
So he's like, it's fine,
right?
But also, like you said, he's rich.
Right.
That much of a choice.
What am I going to do? What am I really going to say? A prince stands before me claiming that he's in love with me and he's going to whisk me away to a castle where I'm going to live comfortably. Like, I'm going to say yes.
Yeah,
it's fine. And then we'll get married and I'll hold it over his head for the rest of our marriage.
Yeah, forever. I'll be like, I will never forgive you.
Yeah. Like, oh, thanks for this necklace, honey. Remember when you dished me at that ball?
I'll never forget.
Because I do.
I'll remember that clearly.
Yeah.
Holding the slipper. They keep the slipper, so I'll remember that forever.
Yeah, frame it, put it in the bedroom so he can see it. And like every time you come into the bedroom, you look at that slipper and you remember what you did.
Remember what you've done.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he proposes to her, puts the slipper on her foot. It's fine. It's cute. I'm happy for them, I guess.
Yeah.
Rodmilla is later summoned before the royal court and confronted for lying to the queen about Danielle. She's stripped of her title and threatened with exile to the Americas. Horrible. Oh. And along with Marguerite, unless someone speaks for her, I wouldn't have, but Danielle steps in.
Yeah, because she's a good person. Yep, she's a good person. I know you're not. You would have been like waving as her ship
The way
took
she waves
sail.
to her father by the gate.
Yeah.
Bye, join America. Tell. So she pretty much says that she asks that Rodmilla be shown the same courtesy that she's shown her. So now Rodmilla and Marguerite are reduced to servants in the laundry room of the palace. So I guess that's a fair.
It is, because this is another fun fact.
Okay.
All right, so we all know the original Cinderella was much darker.
Yes.
Thanks to the Brothers Grimm. So you said earlier that in this older version, the stepsister's eyes are plucked out by doves, and this is their punishment for being unkind. So in keeping with this theme, the movie makes a subtle nod to this by having the stepmother and the stepsister work in the royal laundry, because back in those days, such a job would often lead to blindness thanks to the corrosiveness of cleaning chemicals.
Okay.
Long-term exposure would have eventually led to them losing their eyesight. So it's a pretty rough punishment.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad. Okay. I'll accept it then. I'll accept it. They could have possibly had a decent life in the Americas, so.
Yeah, they could have not gone blind. I mean, I would rather not go blind. I mean, they probably would have died like really early in the Americas, though. Like, you remember, like 1500s
That's
America, they would not have. They would have gotten sick and died.
Yeah.
Or starved to death. Yeah.
So either way, it's not good.
Either way, not great.
So then Leonardo gifts Danielle and Henry a portrait of Danielle, which is also his actual portrait of.
I got you.
Yeah.
La Scapigliata.
Yes. Yeah. So it's a well-known painting, but
yes,
I'm not pronouncing that.
No worries. I probably butchered the name as well, because I haven't taken Italian in like 10 years. So
it sounds right.
Yeah.
So then the Grand Dame from the beginning reveals to be.
Oh, wait, really quick.
Yes.
La Scapigliata translates to the lady with disheveled hair. So
rude.
I know. And it's just like a name. It's not even the real name of this painting. It's just what it's got called. So just kind of like an insult to this poor lady.
Yeah, it's just like a nice picture of this woman. It's just like, messy
disheveled. Yeah. Put yourself together, lady. Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
So the Grand Dame from early in the movie is revealed to be the great-great-granddaughter of Henry and Danielle, and says that they did live happily ever after, and that's the end of the movie. So it is a lot. So much happens in this.
So much happens in the movie.
Cinderella retelling.
Yes. I like. It's one of the few Cinderella movies that has multiple interactions between the prince and Cinderella before the whole like marry me, dance at the ball situation.
Yeah. And I definitely like that. I like that they knew each other more. I think the Disney live action Cinderella did a similar thing where they met before.
Yeah.
And I really like the way they went about it as well. I
thought for some reason you didn't like the live action Cinderella.
No, I did. Yeah.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I wish it had like more singing, because it is a
Disney okay, there we go. Yeah,
that was like my negative for it, but I think the gown.
Oh my
that
God.
reveal, I would say that and Ever After's reveal are like top tier Cinderella dress reveal.
I think agreed that they are like capture your breath.
Yeah.
Stunning. Good ones. So good.
So I do like that idea of them meeting before, even if it's brief, just to kind of know each other a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a little goofy that the prince meets her
immediately falls in love. Right.
Who is this woman? I'm blind. What do you mean she's a blonde? Size 6 feet.
All the things I need in a wife.
Like, bro, there's probably like 2 women in the whole fucking area that fits that.
Yeah.
So it's a little goofy, but Prince. I think the prince is always supposed to be a little dumb, and so Prince Harry for me is a little dumb.
Henry.
Oh my God, I see Harry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, not Prince Harry. He's not that dumb. I guess all men are a little dumb. Prince Henry is a little dumb, but not in like the love struck way, and. I wish there was a little bit more of that.
The one thing that was nice was that they argued. Like, it was nice that they were arguing and debating, not like arguing in an unhealthy way, but they were having open conversations and debating, and she was opening his mind. But I know what you mean. There is,
because it was a little like enemies to lovers kind of
yes,
thing.
yeah, a little bit.
Like, I'm a prince. What do you mean? And she's like, well, if you thought about things this way and this way, so he becomes a better person because of her.
Because of her.
And so I thought that was really nice. And, you know, I did like Prince Henry. I thought he was a good prince, but I guess I'm more used to.
You like them when they're a little bit more himbo-y, where there's a little bit more of the like hearts in their eyes, which I think I really like it when they're tripping over themselves for her too. I think that's just
it doesn't have to be hard.
It's nice.
I guess for me, I think Prince Henry really screwed himself leaving her at the ball. Right.
Yeah, agreed.
It just seemed like such a wild reaction.
Yeah.
I don't know. So
yeah,
I think that could have been a little differently, but that's okay. That's all right.
Yeah.
You know, he's not perfect. He's a drama queen, and we know that from the start. So I shouldn't be that surprised with how he reacted. Yeah. And he went to go save her. So, you know,
I guess. The nice
little pep talk by Leonardo.
He needed an older man to tell him what to do, but that's the way it usually goes. I guess.
Fine. Based in realism.
Right. Drew Barrymore did say that she immediately fell in love with the character of Danielle, and she is quoted as saying, "Rescue yourself. That's who I want to be. That's who I need to be in this life." And then she elaborated on this sentiment by saying how much sweeter love is when the heroine is, you know, a strong, independent woman who doesn't need a man, you know. So
yeah. No,
she says it more eloquently than that, but you know,
I really like Danielle's character. I think she's a really great character. She's, you know, she has such a big heart, and she's very caring, but she's very passionate, and she's tough. She takes no shit, and so I think she was a really nicely done character.
Yes.
You know? It didn't feel too like badass chick. I don't need anyone. She's very much a compassionate person.
Yes.
Loves love and people, and so she's a really good character.
I agree.
Yeah, Brett is very much not a Drew Barrymore fan.
Really? Yeah, why not?
He just says he does not find her attractive at all.
Oh my God, Brett!
I thought she was really cute.
She is cute.
I will say, growing up, I did not find her pretty at all.
Really?
I think as an adult, I see her differently now. I think
interesting.
She's very pretty, but yeah, growing up, I was like, his favorite Charlie's Angel.
Dude, I didn't realize she was one of the Charlie's Angels.
No?
Yeah. I've watched that when it came out, so I was way too young to be watching it. But
yeah, probably.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't remember that. Okay.
Yeah. Have to do a rewatch then.
Yeah, seriously.
So, I can continue with my review.
Yeah.
Main character, smash.
Yep.
Obviously. I'd smash both though.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
All right.
I'll give you the time.
All right. You're like, you know, a pity smash.
Side character. Oh, who did I pick for a side character?
Was it Gustav or Leonardo?
It might have been Leonardo da Vinci. I said pass.
Okay.
Pass.
Yeah, he's a little old for you.
Just like a little bit.
Just a smidge. Just a little too goofy too.
Yeah, he's a cartoon.
Yeah.
No. Fall in love. I said an 8. It's still pretty high. I mean, I definitely would have had an attraction and like a bond.
But it would have been hard when he left you at the party.
That would have been really hard. But also, like you were saying, like, you know, a woman at that time, you don't have much choice as a servant. So I probably would have forgiven him.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and you know, I would have, you know, it's real love. He was just being a baby.
Yep. Yeah, he was having a little hissy fit, whatever.
Hissy fit. He just changed his diaper.
We all know. Yes, they all, you know, it's not the first time a man has gotten upset about something dumb and then later had to apologize for it. But
yep. You know it, girls.
Yeah, unfortunately. But to be fair, I have definitely done the same thing before where I've gotten really upset about something stupid. But it's fine. But we don't have to admit that.
I don't apologize.
Okay, well.
I
Good for
felt
you.
a moment. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Not sorry.
Might be later.
I just got a little crazy. What?
Yeah.
Okay.
You married a Latino, okay?
Yeah. What do you expect? Divorce me then.
Yeah.
Leave me. All right. So recommend. Yes, I would recommend this
Yes.
movie. It is a jolly good old time.
Okay.
Hearts. So I almost gave it 5
Ooh.
until the masquerade ball scene. I truly
yeah.
after I just had this like icky
Big
taste in my
ick,
mouth.
okay.
Like I just wasn't feeling the rest of the movie. So I give it a 4.8. So it's still
Okay.
high.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was gonna be a 5. I was like riding through. I'm like, yeah, this is a 5 for sure. And then I was like, oh, I just can't get over
that scene is so ick. It is so ick. I can understand that.
And I just like her being sold to. It was just like a lot of extra.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like, you know, I was like, okay, I guess I'm not used to this type of.
I can agree with those sentiments. Yeah, it could have been, if it was done just slightly differently, it would have really been a chef's kiss moment. But
yeah. So I think what would have helped is if Henry immediately was like, I fucked up. Like he realized himself, you know, not that Leonardo came up to him and was like, yeah. I think Henry having a moment and like, what am I doing? You know, I think that would have been better for me. So
yeah, maybe even him like reading the book Utopia or something and just kind of having some aha moments or self-educating instead of having to have a man tell him what to do.
Well, the fairy godmother, I guess.
Yeah. I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
That connection.
Saving lives, saving relationships.
Yes, as per usual.
Could all use the fairy godmother.
Yeah,
so
but wouldn't mind it.
That's my review.
All right.
If you have anything else to add.
I mean, one of the fun facts that I had written down, I almost interrupted you at the beginning and I was like, I'm not going to interrupt you so quickly. But it originally was PG-13 when it was in theaters.
Okay.
And they ended up turning it to PG by removing a whopping 3 curse words because they wanted to broaden their audience. So I don't know why they didn't originally just knock those curse words out. And I wonder, I'm dying to know where the curse words were, what the lines were, but you know.
Probably Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah.
Curse.
Yeah. There's also a lot of really interesting. So these fun facts, I didn't have cross references other than IMDb, but there's some interesting costume work. So the costume designer was the same one who worked on Mad Max, which is really cool.
Oh, okay.
And there was a lot of representation in the way that the outfits were. So the Baroness is wearing headdresses that kind of resemble halos, showing that she has a little bit of a god complex. Mm-hmm. And at the ball, her headdress has horns, which is really interesting. And you can see there's like a similarity in the way that one stepsister is dressed all fancy or whatever, but then Jacqueline is dressed in the horse's costume because she's modest and isn't as caring about the rest of it. You know, there's a lot of symbolism that's really interesting. There's some other cool fun facts and stuff, but I do encourage people to just look it up if you're interested because they really thought in depth about a lot of things with this movie. So it was nice.
The costuming was really cool.
Yeah.
I really loved the costumes in this movie. So A+ to that design.
A+. Yeah, and my fun facts are from Screen Rant, Looper, Wikipedia, and IMDb.
Nice. Yeah. Thanks for stating those resources.
You're welcome. In case anyone wants to cross-reference, you know.
Megan lied about everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible someone could be going on IMDb and making shit up, and then I just didn't do a good enough job cross.
I'm sure you're fine. All right. So, anything else about Ever After?
I think.
Oh, what would you rate it?
You know what? It's hard because I think that I lean more towards the 5, but I do completely agree with you about that scene. And there are like little tweaks. It's, you know, if I am being like, I feel like there's two modes of me, and it's the mode of me that's just a silly girl watching a rom-com where I'm like 5 stars. But then if I'm looking at it critically and I'm looking at it through your eyes, I would have to say probably 4.9, 4.8 or so, because of the fact that there are those things that just kind of like draw you out of it. But for the most part, for me, if I am just looking at this as a playful movie to watch, I would go 5.
I mean, it is very good.
Yeah.
It's a very good retelling of Cinderella.
Yeah.
I really like this adaptation. I like that it was more like realistic. I like the setting. So
yeah, and I do love all of the sort of deeper connections they make. And it's really fun watching these movies when they tie it into the older stories in like new, interesting ways. So that's fun.
No, it was very, very cool. So
yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Yay.
And are you ready for your movie?
No. No.
There were so many movies I was like thinking about giving you. I'm like,
oh God,
I don't know what to give you next.
Yep.
I decided to go with another favorite classic of mine.
Okay.
By someone that you love, Stephen King.
Oh God. Oh, you're gonna say it.
I'm not.
Oh,
do you want to guess? Do you?
No, I don't know all of them. I know there's the Dome. I know there's that might be a TV show actually. I don't know. Just tell me. I don't know.
Okay,
maybe.
All right. So the movie I'm giving you is Misery.
Oh my God.
It's one of my favorites. That means nothing to you, of course.
No.
You might hate it, but this is an interesting one.
Yeah, because you gave me Carrie.
I love Carrie.
Yeah, you have.
I love Stephen King movies. If not, cannot tell. But you like The Shining, so we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. TBD, I guess.
So
Misery loves company. So
it is about novelist Paul Sheldon ends up in a car crash in the middle of a snowstorm and is rescued and tended to by Annie, who happens to be his biggest fan. As he recovers in her secluded cabin, Annie's obsession takes a dark turn when she doesn't agree with a choice he made in his most recent book.
Oh, God.
Now Paul needs to try and escape before it is too late. So,
nightmare.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a hard time because I was like, should I pick something more supernaturally?
Right.
Or should I pick something that's based in more realism, but something more kind of down to earthy?
Yeah.
No supernatural stuff. So I decided to go with this, and I'll see what you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so excited that I get to watch this and then record it in the next 3 days. We do not have much time, so.
Gotta go. But where to watch? Nowhere. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, I already wrote out everything, and then when I was looking up where to watch, I was like, oh, nowhere.
Well, go.
I would have picked something else if I knew. But
it's fine. It's
I
fine.
worked so hard on this snapshot. All right. And yep, if you want to wrap up.
Oh, sorry. I forgot. Thanks for listening to How Do You Watch This? You can find us on Instagram at How Do You Watch This and TikTok at How Do You Watch, or email us at howdoyouwatchthis@gmail.com. If you like the show us some support by giving us a review or recommend to a friend. And if you're my husband, who's definitely not listening, you should listen to our review show and not the other movie review show that he watched the other day on Gretel and Hansel.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. He told me he watched a movie review, and I was like, mine? And he was like, no. And I was like,
did he know we were reviewing that?
Yes, because that's why I had watched it.
Oh my God.
I know.
Betrayal.
Yeah, ultimate betrayal. This is the equivalent of Cinderella being left.
It is. We're not even being dramatic. It is,
no.
Okay.
Anyway, thanks for listening.
Anyway, thanks.
Bye.